Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Urvashi Sharma, Associate Professor from Department of Journalism and Mass Communication from Jagannath University, Jaipur. In today's session, we'll be focusing on how a freelancer can pitch in to the publication houses to get his stories or a feature published. So let us move along with the session. First, let us understand what is a pitch. Pitch is a writer's description of a potential story, explanation of why it should matter to an editor. A pitch can be delivered verbally if you are on staff pitching to your editor or sent via email. A pitch essentially makes the case for doing a certain story at a certain point in time and most importantly, for why you are the best person to write it. A good pitch letter should introduce the author, summarize the story the author wants to write, and explain why that story matters and why you should write it. Steps for writing a good pitch letter or an email. Step 1. Research on what you want to write. Research forms the backbone of all kind of communication that one wants to make through mass medium. So look for an idea that is new, timely and of interest to the readers of the publication of the editor. Also look for whether the publication has already covered the topic or theme that you are pitching. If so, then how can I offer a different perspective or approach? Does my work fit in with the publication's current style and content? If not, is there a way to position my work so that it would be a good fit? So all these things the writer has to read, research and find an answer to. Second step is informative and clear subject line. A clear and informative subject line separates an email that gets replied to from one that gets ignored. The best subject lines aren't sensational or overly long, but communicative. What's being pitched in a snappy and interesting way. An easy template for a solid subject line is to begin with phrases that explain the form of your pitch and follow up with an attention-grabbing line describing its content. Avoid subject lines that are overly long or detailed. A complicated subject line is more likely to lead to your email getting skipped over than it is to catch an editor's attention. Make it instantly clear what you are offering, whether it's like a photo story or written feature, etc. Third is personalize the pitch. Personalize your pitch to publication or the editor that is tailored around their interest. This would fetch you more replies than a generalized pitch being sent to a number of publications. Make it clear that you are familiar with the work of the publication and show how your work fits in. Step 4. Set a casual tone. A casual tone is best for email pitches. While your grammar and spelling should always be correct, and it's best to avoid abbreviations, slangs, and emojis. You don't need to be overly formal. A pitch email is a great opportunity to make a new professional connection by communicating not just in a polite attitude but also with flexibility. Even if you are pitching for a specific piece of work, you can also let the editor know that you are interested in future collaborations and available for commissions. If the publication likes your style and is interested in what you are doing, but your current pitch just isn't the right fit, they may contact you in future. Step 5. Introduce yourself. Begin your pitch by explaining who you are and what you do. Don't share the entire life story, but include few relevant details editor might want to know. What kind of work you do? Are you a student, a full-time freelancer? Where are you based? Where else have you been published? Step 6. Tell about the work you do. After introducing After introducing who you are, what kind of work you do, take a few sentences to introduce what you are pitching. Keep it short but specific. If the publication doesn't specify length guidelines for pitches, sticking to more than 500 words is usually a good idea. Attach your work personal feel to your pitch as it can lend a sense of professionalism to your pitch. Step 7. Proofread and check your links before sending. Be sure to give every pitch a thorough read before you hit the send button. Double check the names of the publication and editors you're contacting. Nobody likes to have their names misspelled. Errors like these may seem minor, but these kind of small mistakes can make an otherwise great pitch come across as a sloppy and unprofessional one. Follow up in a professional and timely manner. This is step number 8. If you haven't received a reply after a few days, it doesn't always mean you won't still get one. If your pitch wasn't timely, the editor may just be busy and might get in touch weeks later. Be sure to check the publication's policy on unsolicited pitches if you have shared one on their site. If your follow-up message, in your follow-up message, be brief and polite. Simply ask if the editor has had a chance to take a look at your previous mail and leave it at that. It's always possible that your pitch got buried in an overflowing inbox, or that the recipient did take a look and was interested but was too busy to follow up. So, pitching is all about how you present your idea to the publication in order to get published. So, while pitching, make sure that you fit in the style of the publication. You make publication assure that your write-up will add on to their existing content or make an interesting reading for their reader. All this can be done only if you have thoroughly researched about the publication where you are sending in your pitch. Make sure you come up with a very crisp subject line in order to get an attention of the editor. Also make sure that your pitch is free from spelling errors. You don't forget to add on your personal links, links of your work and where you have published your work earlier, so that he can go through your article and then form a perception about your style and way of writing. So this is how you need to keep in mind while you're pitching for your write-up to any publication. So in this session, we have done all about pitching and how do we write an effective email pitch. Thank you.